Howdy y'all, this is Losman here, and it is, well, it's actually not Sunday, it's Monday, but I'm still going to do a lazy Sunday roundup because it's Veterans Day. Alright folks, like I said, today is November the 11th, which means it's Veterans Day, so special shout out to all you people out there who served in our armed forces, whether it be the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. Y'all, much respect, go out there, enjoy your free meals and any other perks you get for your fine service and duty to the country. All right, so tonight we're going to discuss some of the things that went on in the past week. Since we're suffering from a Halloween hangover, I decided to pay a visit to a local swap meet that was occurring. It was the Horror Hangover VHS swap, yeah, at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall. Now in San Antonio, the Wonderland of the Americas is it's an older mall. It isn't really the most modern mall, but what they've done to it lately is make it into kind of like a multi-use mall where you have private businesses as well as regular stores in there. And one of the things they tend to do is a number of kind of like flea market activities, swap meets, local vendors. They invite them in to have be out. It's kind of like a little community fair. They do this routinely every at least twice every year. They have an event called MonsterCon, which is a sort of like a little horror movie swap meet that they hold. They have costume contests and they have some celebrities there. It's pretty fun and it's free. That's what I love about this event. It's completely free, and the vendors there are pretty great. They have people selling movies, people selling merchandise, T-shirts, all sorts of horror movie related items, and this is something they've been doing for a while. So this is definitely something that I'm going to start encouraging people who live in and around San Antonio to come check out because this is pretty neat. Plus, I'm sure some other towns probably do something similar. Well, the event that they had yesterday was a movie swap. So I went out there and I bought a lot of movies. Yeah, basically I bought a couple of stacks of VHS as well as DVDs. Now, I posted photos on my Instagram and Twitter of all the movies that I found, and I did get some good ones. I know some of the notable finds include, I found Aliens on VHS and Alice Sweet Alice on VHS. Even though it was kind of beaten up looking, I still wanted it because that's a classic movie. Now there were some other movies I had hoped to get, but the prices were just a little too high. They wanted $25 for Terror in the Aisles, which I would have grabbed if it wasn't for the fact that I have Terror in the Aisles on my Halloween 2 Blu-ray, so I already have that, so don't need to worry about that. Plus, it's out there on YouTube, so, Now, the other intriguing purchase that I kind of went, was Dark Night of the Scarecrow VHS. They wanted $125 for it. That's a little beyond the Losman's price range there. But I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for that VHS. If I can find it for like $25-30, I'll pull the deal, or pull the handle, on that one, because that's a classic movie. I know I'm also looking for a Sleepaway Camp VHS so I can get Felissa to sign it. Oh, her sign's covered by my VHS tape, so I gotta find another spot for Felissa's picture somewhere around here. Getting more stuff every day. All right, so the event, like I went to, was pretty fun. They had a lot of good movies and a lot of good items to pick up. And one of the individuals involved said that they plan on doing this every maybe 4 months or 6 months, so that'll be something pretty cool to look forward to. And I definitely encourage you to go out there and check out your local swap meets, half-price books, DVD exchanges. Look for movies, and not just on Blu-ray. VHS is making a comeback on the collector scene. Some people like that style. I just buy them for the cover box art. But I'll tell you what, man, being out there yesterday, looking at all those movies, it kind of brought me back to the days of the video stores, looking at the boxes and wondering, wow, this looks great. Maybe I should check this out, And now, granted, I have access to the internet, so I can actually look up the movie and see if it's worth getting. But, I just miss those days of being able to go into the video store and not Blockbuster, but, the mom and pop stores that were very popular, and just seeing what they had on the shelves. There a lot of times, the one particular store I went to, they had a great horror movie section, a great science fiction section. They had action movies, and it was just awesome. The being able to pick up a movie for what, like 2 for 99 cents, or 3-day rental for $1.49, something like that. I mean, I miss those days. It's ironic because right now I have so many streaming services available to me. I can stream 1,500 to 2,000 movies, but I just miss those days of being able to look through those VHS tapes. I mean, yeah, that's nostalgia for you. All right, so I did watch a couple of movies. I'm trying to get back into my routine of watching more movies because I need to hit 300 before December 31st, and we're about 50 days away from the new year. So I'm cutting it close there. One of the movies I checked out was Nightmare Cinema. Now, this is one I had heard about, and it was put out on Shudder. It's a 2-hour anthology film with a couple of stories. I mean, just basically, it's a girl she's kind of drawn into a movie theater, and you see she sees kind of a scary tale involving her, and then you see some other people basically drawn in, being shown scary tales based on them. So it's interesting. It's got some good stories, and I know Mick Garris is one of the directors, I believe, or producers. So it's definitely worth checking out. Another movie I checked out was called Deep Murder. Now, this is another one that showed up on Shudder. This was a fun one. It's a little out there. It was a horror comedy, and it was kind of like a parody of a porno film, but as a horror movie, but not like any other slasher movie I've seen. This one was played off just pure camp. The cast was pretty fun. You had Chris McDonald, or no, is it Chris, whatever his name is, and then you had Chris. I gotta look this up. I do this impromptu, so you know what? Sometimes I write notes, sometimes I don't. I'm like, whatever. But Stephanie Drake, yes, that's the main reason I watched it. Stephanie Drake is a wonderful actress who those of you who used to watch Mad Men will recognize her as Meredith, who was Don Draper's secretary toward the end of the show, the pretty blonde lady. Well, it turns out she's becoming quite the little horror movie actress. She's got about 5 or 6 horror movies that she's done in the past couple of years, and she's a funny actress, really great. And I mean, her character in this movie is just, I mean, she just steals the show. I mean, she plays like a scientist, but like a porno scientist. So yeah, it's interesting, and strangely not a lot of nudity, even though it's supposed to be a porno movie. Well, like a pseudo porno movie. It's more male nudity than there is female nudity, but yeah, maybe that's the joke. And then the last movie I watched last night, which I did a video on already, was Dr. Sleep. Now, in the video, I did not really get into too much discussion about the cast of the movie because it's quite impressive. You have Ewan McGregor, you have Alex Iso, you have quite a number of other individuals. Let me pull them up real quick because this movie has an outstanding cast. Okay, so you have Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson. Now, she was outstanding in her role. Basically, wow. I mean, throughout the whole movie, I'm like, damn, this actress is great. She kind of gave me the like a Lisa Marie vibe, like Tim Burton's ex-girlfriend or something. And for a minute, I thought it was her, but I was like, no, she's younger. But damn, that character scared me. You also had Cliff Curtis, who is kind of like one of those character actors that appears in a lot of things, So that was a pretty good role he had. And let's see, Emily Allen Lind, who I remembered from, I believe she was in The Babysitter, and she played the friend, I believe. Yeah. See, and then you have Carol Strucken is in there. He plays a Carol Strucken character, like tall, creepy looking guy, but he always delivers on those roles. The other individual that of note was Jocelyn Donahue. Now, Jocelyn Donahue is in House of the Devil, which is one of my favorite movies of the past decade. And in this particular movie, she plays, I believe, she's either the mother or the stepmother of the main character, outside of Ewan McGregor. So, I mean, wow. I mean, it's great. Like I said, this movie was well done. I mean, it's a Stephen King story. So with Stephen King, it's either a hit or miss, but this was definitely, a home run. Great movie. So if you get a chance to check out Dr. Sleep, I really recommend it. It's one of a number of Stephen King adaptations that was released this year, and it's probably the best one. I mean, even better than It Part 2. Well, actually, a lot of things would be better than It Part 2, but yeah, better than Pet Sematary. And I just realized that the Stephen King movies that were released were all remakes or sequels of movies that were already done before, because you think about it, Doctor Sleep is a sequel to The Shining. Pet Sematary is a remake of Pet Sematary, and It is a remake of It. Yeah, so come on, we need some more original Stephen King stories. But another interesting note here. I went ahead and got my podcast gear, so I went ahead and got my Blue Yeti microphone, and I'm going to start doing some more audio productions. And then one of the things I was doing is experimenting with doing audio reviews so that I can do on YouTube. The video reviews I tried was okay. I'm going to get back to doing those eventually, but it takes a lot of work to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on some audio reviews along with my weekly movie roundup. That way I can go through more movies, and then I'll throw out the occasional video review, because hey, that was still pretty fun. And of course, this is all